Good evening, everyone. This is an important announcement, even though it sounds like it's really just having another party. But this party is going to be very much a part of the Empire building. What I realized today is that the Empire needs my brother and I. As you guys have already seen, I made a big poster. It's a big sign, and it is the symbol for a woman, a symbol for a man, and inside the circle part, which is I'm considering maybe the head, that is where I put a 6. So there's a 6 in one, and there's a 6 in the other, and it represents how my brother and I are the living will of the empire. It's a twin empress. It's an emperor and an empress. So it's twin emperors. So we have to be careful too. It's going to be a safety issue because it kind of entices people to violence, and that's not the answer. What we're really trying to look at is the power. So we are definitely the will of Ricardo Andre Dilworth Sr., who is 66 years old, but it comes into competition with sovereign states like Israel, which is also 66 years old. So there's a competition, and we want to be careful because these are very dangerous people. We're having a September promotional party. I'm going to go ahead and kind of read some of the things we want to bring. I'm going to make this short because you guys, we need to really think about this together. We want to think about what we're going to do. There's a lot of factors to it. One thing you'll realize is that with these factors, each factor contains gems. So there might be more than one factor in a gem. So basically, it is like swag, but I realize that my brother speaks empire talk very well, and we're in the same family. So you'll find there are good uses for people in the family that are very imperialistic, or they're a little odd or weird. They're kind of weird. You don't really understand them, but they say things that comes from a different place. There's a place for them, and I've always made a place for all the members of my family. So every single one in my family has a place, and I realize that Cardo is really good at empire talk. And I think my legal background, it gives me an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage because it's so cooperative and it's so group-based. It's based on a court system which has a jury, which has a judge, and you're working with 3 different parts. And because I grew up so cooperative, I need someone in my life who is a little more imperial. And Cardo speaks really good imperial talk. So the difference is, whereas I might say thou house, Cardo is thinking Dilworth M.O. So you see, that's a big difference. And he's a valuable member because of that. So I thank you. Thank you, Ricardo Andre Dilworth Jr. I always listen. I always try to, take what is rightfully of value. And I think that every single factor is packed with values. So one thing I want to do at the party, we're going to go ahead and start with what we're going to, give to him. I think a Star of David course certificate is a good thing because that's something that we were supposed to go through. I realize now. I didn't realize it at the time, but I'm supposed to because I wasn't seeing myself as being a part of the living will of Ricardo. I thought of myself as a completely sovereign member. So I have to look at it both ways now. Maybe some type of ceremony for being a living will of my father, Rad Sr. T-shirts with the symbol I just spoke of. Maybe a list of radisms that we find valuable. And of course we're going to have things like champagne, cake, things like that. So I'm planning this September party. If you guys have any ideas, we'll come back to that. But this is actually a very big promotional event. So I want us to start thinking now. Thank you for joining, I will go ahead and update you as we go along. I'm going to end the video here, but try to go ahead and look at this, because September to me represents the snake. It represents a part of you that is potentially dangerous, because it's either an opening for somebody to, it's a vulnerability because you're missing something in your life. So that's what September represents to me. September represents a sect or a snake. So it's either coming into you or it's going out, and you can lose your life with someone who is, kind of just has a real snake quality to them. So we're watching for evil spirits, but at the same time, it could be an opening for a sect, meaning that, there's a part of you that you don't really nurture and that you're not really paying attention to grow. So it's either going to grow into a sect, or it's going to be a serpent, and it's going to take over your life in a bad way or an evil way, and you can possibly lose your life. So just be careful, and also watch for the competition. I'll make a note of that. And that's a red star kind of quote that I'm speaking of. I'm putting the video series together for myself. I probably will include this as part of the paid advice eventually, but I think for this particular time, I'm going to leave this up for the month of September 2014. So at the end of September in 2014, don't expect to have this unsolicited advice again. But until that time, I'm going to go ahead and make this available. I love the videos because we're able to flow and things just come out. So if there's something that comes out and you don't understand it, you still want to ask me about it. And what we're going to start to do is, moving forth, I'm going to start, go ahead and selling CDs so that everyone is caught up. Have a great one. Love you all. Peace.